What's good, YouTube, and welcome to another KaibaHacksDartz Yu-Gi-Oh video. This is another deck list, deck profile, deck update, whatever you like to call them. And this is our Man-Eater Bug deck for November 2024. If you don't know that Man-Eater Bug, flip, target one monster on the field, destroy it. An absolute classic throughout the ages. So we've tried to boost him up. And this is, of course, our first attempt at making a deck around him, and we're kind of exploring some different avenues, some different techniques, seeing what works to hopefully tech the deck up, make it better. So let me know if you have any suggestions, and of course, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. We're almost at 500 subscribers. It'd be greatly appreciated, especially if you're enjoying the content. So we're going to start with 3 Man-Eater Bug, of course. Moving on, we got 3 Mimicking Man-Eater Bug. I don't know if you've ever seen this kind of tech up of them, but it is flip, target one monster in the field, destroy it, and if you do, this card gains attack equal to that monster's original attack. Then you can change this card's type to that monster's original type. And it cannot be destroyed by battle, and it cannot be destroyed by the effects of monsters with its same type. So, of course, it's got that same removal as the Man-Eater Bug, but can be boosted up into maybe something more powerful, and something that's hard to remove. So he's a great little tech up. Next, we are running 3 Noble Man-Eater Bug. This is kind of, if the Man-Eater Bug, Mimicking Man-Eater Bug's his son, and this is his dad. This is Man-Eater Bug's dad. You know what I mean? He holds it down. He flips, destroys 2 monsters on the field. But of course, he is a level 5, so a little bit harder to pull out. But he's still fun tech, and of course he's a Man-Eater Bug too, so we got to include him. In the deck. Next, we are running 3 Gokipon. It is when this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can add 1 insect monster with 1500 or less attack from your deck to your hand. And of course, that is any of the Man-Eater Bugs. And of course, you could maybe tech into it and get another Gokipon, try and deck thin, or other of some of the insects in the deck. So he's a great little piece. Plus, he's also level 2, so if you're doing some maybe Link 2 or Xyz, rank 2 plays, then, he might be some bonus little tech. We haven't explored the extra deck too hard, but we have some stuff in there. Next, we're running Crawler Soma. Figured we'd throw in a little bit of the Crawler stuff since they are a little bit flip-oriented, so it fits with the Man-Eater Bugs, plus their insects. So Crawler Soma is pretty good. You can target 1 face-up monster you control, special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, change that target to face-down defense position. Can't change its battle position for the rest of the turn. And during your main phase, you can reduce this card's level by 2 or 4, and if you do, special summon Crawler monsters with different names from your hand, deck, or graveyard, with total levels equal to the amount reduced in face-up or face-down defense position. And you can only do it once per turn. So, of course, we have some other Crawler monsters in to hopefully pull out, thin the deck, do some other plays. But he is good recycle power for those Man-Eater Bugs. If you're possibly trying to hit him off again, you could flip him down. Or you can just try and maybe, if you're going first turn, summon that Man-Eater Bug face up. Then you can start to extend plays with Crawler Soma as well. So we're running a couple one-off crawlers to fit in with his stuff. The Crawler Ranveer. It's a flip monster. Target up to 2 Crawler monsters in your graveyard, add them to hand. The rest of the stuff you can kind of read off. They all have the same effect that if it leaves the field because of an opponent's card effect, you can special summon 2 Crawler monsters. They're all pretty much similar stuff to that. So he's just a way to recycle some to hand. So maybe those Somas or more stuff. Crawler Spine targets 1 monster on the field and destroys it. So he's basically the same as a Mimicking Man-Eater Bug. We're just testing these in because I don't have more of them at the moment. Just kind of one-offs of each, other than the ones I have in the Jowls deck. But I'm working it out, teching and seeing what works. So these guys are in that same vein. They're level 2s, all that same stuff. Same with the Crawler Axon, same thing, but he is Spell and Trap on the field and destroy it. And then Crawler Galil, you can special summon 1 Crawler monster from your hand or graveyard in face-up attack position or face-down defense position. So they're mostly play extensions. doing stuff like that. More flip monsters, more insect plays, more ways to kind of go into different stuff. But that is the monsters. Next, we are running 3 Verdant Sanctuary, moving into the spells, if I didn't say. Verdant Sanctuary, when a face-up insect monster is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, its controller can add 1 insect monster with the same level as the destroyed monster from their deck to their hand. So, of course, we got all these level 2s. We got the many man-eater bugs of various levels, so we can start to work them out and add them to hand more frequently. And of course, we can have more than 1 of these on the field. So, when an insect monster is destroyed, we can pop 2 of them off. Potentially. Next, moving into Worm Bait. We got 3 of these. It is if you control an insect monster, special summon 2 worm tokens, and you cannot normal or special summon any level 3 or 4 monsters the turn you activate this card. Now, you could still set cards, but still you can get away with, obviously, the man-eating bugs, because they are level 2, and as some of the various other crawler monsters. So good play extensions, more level 2s, stuff like that. Next, we got 3 Book of Moon, of course for defensive plays, but also to reset your various flip monsters, man-eater bug and such. Pretty self-explanatory. Next, we're running 2 Insect Neglect. It is when your opponent's monster declares an attack, you can banish 1 insect monster from your graveyard and negate that attack. So, lots of different plays here. You can obviously just use this to stall out. Maybe you're just trying to keep a man-eater bug unflipped for a certain amount of time. Who knows what you're doing, but it helps to keep you alive, especially with lots of insects going to the grave. For some extra kind of spice we're running, it's the World Legacy in Shadow, and I'd probably run maybe more of these in the future, but I only have 1 at the moment. But it's all crawler monsters on the field gain 300 attack and defense, which isn't that big of a deal, but it's something. But what we're looking at more is, once per turn you can special summon 1 level 2 or lower insect monster from your hand in face-up or face-down defense position. And when your flip monster is destroyed by battle with an opponent's monster, you can send that opponent's monster to the graveyard. So, of course, with all of the different plays lined up, you can start to hit a lot of things at once with that destroying monster, with a monster destroyed by battle, or your flip monster is destroyed by battle, sorry. But of course, you can special summon an extra man-eater bug or extra crawler stuff. So I recommend getting more of these, even if you're not going for just the crawler plays specifically. This can be a big bonus for bringing out more of those monsters. And field spell potential, so you could maybe get some mage powers in there or something, who knows. Next, we got Pot of Avarice. Just something to help maybe get a little bit more draw power and to recycle, just because you might be going through a lot of maybe crawlers, or maybe, just your insects in general. And we have a Pot of Desires. Not that big of a deal if you're, going through 10 cards, because you got a lot of multiple copies of stuff. But I figured I'd just throw it in for some extra draw power. Obviously can be switched up for whatever. Moving into the traps, we have 2 Set Uppercut. It is when a monster you control is destroyed by battle, special summon 1 monster from your hand or deck with attack less than or equal to that destroyed monster's attack in face-down defense position. So, of course, with all your various crawler monsters, plus the man-eater bugs have the same attack, mimicking, and just normal. So, you can start to use this to bring out some more when they're being destroyed, kind of thin out the deck, and just get more of them on the field. And of course, a lot of these can be teched out for different stuff. I do want to explore adding crawlers to it more, just because they are insects and it kind of fits well together. The Junk Sleep, we're running 2. It is, if your opponent normal or special summons a monster, you can change all face-down defensive position monsters you control to face-up attack. And during the end phase, you can change all monsters you control to face-down defense position. And you can only use the effect of Junk Sleep once per turn. So I figure with this, you can maybe get multiple pop-offs of various flip monsters, including that man-eater bug. Next, we are running 1 Reckless Greed, a little bit more draw power, just the kind of various different stuff I have to tech in. Of course, you can try different stuff, whatever fits your playstyle and whatever avenues you decide to take. You can, of course, just trade it out for something different, more defense, more attack, more summoning potential. Next, we're running one Rivalry of the Warlords, pretty much all insects. For everything, I think there's one extra deck monster that isn't an insect, but it's just some fun little tech, and of course, it can limit things down, help out a lot with all our insects. Nemesis Elephant. Special summon this card as an effect. Monster, Beast, Earth level 2, blah blah blah. Still a trap. If this card is in the monster zone, quick effect, you can declare one type and one attribute, then target one face-up monster on the field. It becomes that attribute, type and attribute until the end of this turn. So what the play is with this is basically, you can bring it out. It is a level 2, so you could make it itself an insect if you're doing more of those insecty level 2 kind of combos, though we don't have a lot of in the deck, but there is. But you can make him an insect, so you can just use him in general, or you can kind of use him on your Mimicking Maneater bug, or whatever else you may do in various situations, but mostly the Mimicking Maneater bug, to change him to maybe a different, I believe it's attribute or whatever attribute or type that can't destroy him by card effect, so you could protect him if you need to, plus get a little bit more power, and then you could also, next turn, make him this guy into an insect or whatever you want. Oh, almost threw him in the spells. Lastly, just a free-range monsters, just to help out, get a little bit more extra monster power on the field, that extra set. Plus, it's a trap, so we could maybe use it on their turn to be a bit more decisive. We could throw down a, Axon if we're trying to get rid of a spell or trap, or a Maneater bug specifically, right in their main phase, so that it gets hit, and we can, kind of plan ahead in their turn. All various kind of teching out different stuff, trying what works. And of course, there's a lot of potential, and I do want to go into the crawler stuff a bit more, like I said. For the extra deck, we have 2 B-Trooper Armor Horn, and a lot of this extra deck is just generic-y insect stuff. It could be made into various stuff. A lot of plays that aren't in here that, I could potentially have. But the B-Trooper Armor Horn, of course, you cannot special summon monsters except insect monsters. You can only use each of the following effects of B-Trooper Armor Horn once per turn. During your main phase, you can immediately after this effect resolves, normal summon 1 insect monster. And if this card is in your graveyard, you can banish 3 other insect monsters from your graveyard to special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. So, he's basically just a play extender. Could be a little bit more attack, or, just trying to bring back a specific card, or, try and get a normal summon, doing different plays. Next, we got 1 Insector Piccofelina, 2 insect monsters. If this card is link summoned, you can discard 1 card, then target 1 other insect monster you control. Equip 1 insect monster from your deck to it as an equip spell that gains this effect. The equipped monster gains 500 attack and defense. And you can target 3 insect monsters in your graveyard and shuffle them into the deck, then draw 1 card. So obviously, it's just a little bit more play extension, different stuff like that. Shinobi Insect Hagaku Remino. I never say his name right, I don't think. But 2 monsters with different names. And when this card points to a monster your opponent controls, when this card points to a monsters your opponent controls, your opponent monsters can. I'm just completely baffling this one. Well, this card points to a monsters. Your opponent's monsters cannot target this card for attack. If a monster this card points to is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower insect monster from your hand or graveyard, but banish it when it leaves the field. Sorry, I got through that one, but I don't know why I kept saying that wrong over and over again. The giant B-Trooper Invincible Atlas we're running as one as well. Just a big play to go into, especially when you can kind of extend with maybe Armor Horn or something like that, to get into this big boy to try and do some big damage, because it is, well, this link summon card is 3,000 or less attack, your opponent cannot target this card with card effects. Also, it cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. You cannot special summon monsters except insect monsters, and you contribute 1 insect monster, then activate one of these effects. Special summon 1 B-Trooper monster from your deck, which I could maybe line up some plays with that more specifically, but we'd have to look into it. But mostly, this card gains 2,000 attack until the end of this turn. So you could try and beef in to get some fat damage off with him. And then lastly, just one of my favorites, the Geonator Transverser, a great generic E-monster. Just to possibly switch out something that's used up a Mimicking Maneater bug for one of their big boys, if they, happen to get a card in the right place, because it is this linked card, and monsters it points to cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects, and if this card points to 2 monsters, you can switch control of those monsters. You can only do it once per turn, of course. So, you could switch out one of your crappy or used up flip effects for their big monster, and then attack into your flip monster. And of course, if it has maybe something that goes off in the grave or whatever, you can benefit off that. But it's basically just the generic insect stuff, plus a little extra generic sauce. You can work with the extra deck a lot, and of course I'm going to improve it as I go, try and get some more of the crawlery plays worked out, and some more of just the different plays refined and the ratios refined as well. But of course, if you have any ideas for the deck, let me know in the comments. Make sure to check out my other deck profiles. I do them pretty often, and a lot of different insect ones as well, Bee Trooper, Insector, stuff like that. Make sure to check out my other videos as well. I do Yu-Gi-Oh! DIY stuff, duels here and there, pack openings, various stuff like that. And otherwise, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Like I said, almost at 500 subs, and it'd be greatly appreciated. Don't forget to hit that little notification bell so you know when future videos are coming out. And other than that, thanks for watching. Peace.